So I'm just so glad that I waited. I'm not a patient person, but it's a couple of games that are getting remade this year, and I'm just so happy that even though I bought them on Steam a couple of years ago, which I can't really believe that Persona 4 Golden was released, June 13th, 2020? It's already 2025. I think I got it on sale for like $20 or something. And I'm just so glad that I waited because I knew. And the same thing with Trials of the Sky, the first one, because everybody and their grandmama's been trying to get me into the Trials series, and I've been wanting to get into it, but what had happened was my backlog. I still got Astro Chains to play, y'all. Visions of Mana, Stellar Booty. Anyway, make sure you hit that like button if you like the content that you're seeing, and don't forget to subscribe. I make geekly content here on the channel all the time. As many as y'all know already, Persona 4, which is arguably the best Persona game in the series, is making a return in Persona 4 Revival. My bad, let me correct myself. There is no official release date yet for Persona 4 Revival, which is weird and scary at the same time. Not only is it scary because what's going to happen with Persona 6. If you guys remember, was it last year around this time, there was some information and stuff that dropped about Persona 6 when we got the screens shortly after Persona 3 Reload dropped. We got some screens with all of the main protagonists from Persona, and then there was like the paint buckets, and each person had their own color, and it was a green color left, which was supposedly supposed to be for the new protagonist of Persona 6. So if Persona 4 Revival, which still doesn't have a release date, is going to be for maybe 26, 27, I mean, when the hell are we really going to get Persona 6? Now, I'm all for making a good remake. However, it's kind of scary, and it's getting a little that we're getting more remakes than actual entries into the title. My fear for Persona, which I kind of dub as the new Final Fantasy, or Atlus as the new Squaresoft. I didn't say Square Enix, because once they merged, they have not been the same. Well, rather, when Hironobu left, yeah, Final Fantasy has not been Final Fantasy. And the king, in my opinion, of RPGs has just been Atlus. From just go down the list of all the damn Atlus games that have dropped that have kind of overshadowed pretty much everything else. It's only been a few other series or titles that have garnered as much attention as that. I mean, if you want to count Yakuza, I mean, Yakuza's been around for a long time, but that's also under the umbrella, the publishing umbrella of Sega. So it counts, but does it really count? I'm gonna say it's probably Xenoblade, which is like the other series that has been in the whole JRPG spectrum that's up there with Persona. Final Fantasy makes its numbers because a lot of times we're still hoping and wishing and praying that we can go back to that old Final Fantasy feeling. And now with the success of Obscure Expedition, we gonna see Final Fantasy. We gonna see. Persona 4 is set in 2011 in this fictional rural Japanese town, Inaba. If you forgive my Japanese, y'all know I'm not, Japanese, and I don't read kanji. I read subtitles in English when I'm watching anime. The story revolves around a series of mysterious murders that are connected to a strange phenomenon called the Midnight Channel, where people can see their soulmates on when a TV's turned on and turned off. and it's usually set in these rainy midnights. The main protagonist also lives in Unaba, and he lives with his uncle and his cousin, and then he discovers the whole world inside of the TVs, which are inhabited by shadows. Y'all remember shadows for those of y'all who play Persona 5, and for those of y'all who play Persona 3. I've only gotten a chance to play Persona 3 and Persona 5, if you want to count Royale, but I mean, that's really just the same game with some extras. I ain't complaining, I like the extras. The extras was like the damn near 20 extra hours of gameplay with a better ending, and Kasumi is arguably best waifu. I mean, you know, I still got my lady, Makoto. I started playing Persona 1 and 2 and had them way back when they dropped on PlayStation 1. Unfortunately, tragedy struck and my games got stolen. So I never got a chance to get around to playing them. So then the time 3 and 4 dropped, I was already playing something else and I kind of didn't want to go back to the series. So 5 was my real introduction into Persona, and I loved it. It instantly became one of my favorite games. And everybody and they grandmama and they tias, that's aunties, they have been telling me, Quentin, you got to play Persona 4, because Persona 4, arguably, I've used that word 3 times, that means Isurus has been the best game in the series. But again, with this game coming out in 2026, maybe 2027, when the hell are we really going to get Persona 6? And not only when we're gonna get Persona 6, Atlus, I love y'all. I just dubbed y'all the king of RPGs, JRPGs. I don't want no trouble with, you know, the Skyrim group, them, you know, they coming for me. Just relax. RPGs are RPGs, but there is a stark contrast between JRPGs and Western RPGs. I mean, you can just look at the palette. JRPGs focus on color and fantasy most of the time, and most Western RPGs focus on like these bland type medieval colors and settings. That's one of the reasons I kind of gear towards JRPGs still more than regular RPGs, the Western ones. But look, that's a topic for a video for another day. My biggest fear about Persona pushing all of their games to 2 or 3 years and giving us remakes is, or different portions or stories within the same world, like Persona 5. I think it's like 5 entries into Persona 5, if I'm not mistaken. That's including, you know, the anime and including the mobile games, is that you're running that risk to overstay your welcome in that world, kind of like Final Fantasy VII is done, where they have 10 plus games within their Final Fantasy VII universe inside of Gaia with Cloud, Tifa, Zack, and Aerith. And I think that that's kind of, you know, saturated the game a little bit and the lore of Final Fantasy, because, well, it arguably is one of the best, if not the best, in the series, but everybody knows what's gonna happen, and we are just getting the same characters and the same story, just told on a different platform. But anyway, what do y'all think? Are y'all hyped about Persona 4 revival? Was Persona 4 your favorite Persona game in the series? One day, one year, I'm actually gonna go back to 1 and 2, which I've heard, and from the little bit that I remember playing back in the early 2000s, they're different from 3, 4, and 5. And who knows what 6 is gonna be. Will 6 take the chance to make a female protagonist, or we have co-op female protagonists with the male protagonist? Hopefully we can get a Persona 6 that would be like college students. While I love the teenage going to school and stuff like that, I mean, sometimes I'm tired of it. I would like to see maybe some college students, you know, where we can focus on a few more adult situations. And I ain't mean it gotta be no hunching or coitus involved, but I mean, it could be. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Persona 5 had it, and Akira was what, 16, 17 with a 29-year-old teacher? I mean, I ain't never said nothing about homeroom teacher. She's one of my favorites. But it would add depth to an already great system and plot that they have if you can do things that were more adult. You could take a liberty, you can drink, you can, they can even introduce tobacco. It could just open a whole new world for Persona. At least that's how I see it. But if you did like this video, do me a favor, interweb, and hit that like button. It lets YouTube know I'm on the right path. Also, if you're new to the channel and you want to stay up to date with all things RPGs, games, and geek, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I make geekly content here on the channel all the time. And as always, interweb, remember to eat, geek, sleep, repeat, and don't forget to let me know what your Persona 6 predictions are. And when we and I got tongue-tied there. When we possibly might get it. Will we get a Persona 6 before we get a GTA 6? The world may never know.